Hi guys, welcome to my blog. My name is Jobert Andrin. I am a first year criminology student of the University of the Visayas. Today's topic is about the history of the criminology and the schools of the criminology. This task was given from my instructor RINNA de la PEñA. So let's start. Criminology is the study of a crime and a criminal behavior informed by principles of sociology and other non-legal fields, including psychology, economics, statistics, and anthropology. Criminologists examine a variety of related areas, including characteristics of people who commit crimes. Criminology encompasses a wider analysis of criminal behavior as opposed to the general term crimes, which refers to specific acts such as robbery and how those acts are punished. Criminology also attempts to account for fluctuations in crime rates due to changes in society and law enforcement practices. Increasingly, criminologists working in law enforcement employ advanced tools of scientific forensics such as fingerprint study, toxicology, and DNA analysis to detect, prevent, and more often than not solve crimes. During the late 1800s and early 1900s, Italian physician Cesare Lombroso, known as the father of modern criminology, began studying the characteristics of criminals in hopes of learning why they committed crimes. As the first person in history to apply scientific methods in crime analysis, Lombroso initially concluded that criminality was inherent, that criminals shared certain physical characteristics. As an explanation of criminal behavior, spiritualism emphasized the conflict between absolute good and absolute evil. Set in metaphysical context, people who committed crimes were thought to be possessed by evil spirits, often referred to as demons. In 1700s, when a person committed a crime, whether theft or murder, the punishment is death or cut parts of your body like hand or fingers. The study of criminology began in Europe during the late 1700s, when concern arose over the cruelty, unfairness, and insufficiency of the prisons and criminal court system, highlighting this early so-called classical school of criminology. Several humanitarians such as Italian jurist Cesare Beccaria and British lawyer Sir Manuel Romilly sought to reform the legal and correctional system rather than the causes of the crime itself. Their primary goals were to reduce the use of capital punishment, humanize prisons, and compel judges to follow the principles of due process law. Cesare Lombroso, Italian physician and psychiatrist, was a leader of the positivist theory. He believed that criminals were born, not made, and that crime was a matter of nature, not nurture. He conducted extensive studies on cadavers of executed criminals, coming up with the argument that certain facial features such as very large jaw bones and strong canine teeth were obvious signs that an individual was or would be a criminal. However, this theory became less popular for moral reasons and favor of later theories focusing on environmental factors that contribute to criminal behavior. The two claim that a major reason why people commit crimes was because of a lack of education and wealth. People who live in poverty and who were uneducated, probably because they could afford to get an education, were more likely to commit crimes often to survive. Led to believe that crimes should be punished, of course, but the punish should reflect the degree of fault rather than the severity of the crimes. For example, if a man was caught stealing bread to feed his starving family, he should receive a lesser punishment than a man who steals bread for himself. Meanwhile, Aristotle was explaining that punishments and responses to crime should be used as an opportunity to prevent others from committing crimes. He believed that when criminals receive punishment, it should be served enough that it warns the rest of society to not commit the same crime, while also reminding the criminals not to commit a crime again. The neoclassical school of criminology developed from classical criminology and is based on the utilitarian thought of the philosophers Jeremy Bentham and Cesar Beccaria. Neoclassical criminology was expanded by Gabriel Tarde, who established that all sane adults are equally capable of criminal activities and are responsible for their decision to commit crimes. Rationalist thought is very important in neoclassical criminology. These theories assume that human decision-making is rational. Criminal activity is therefore a decision based on rational thoughts and is the responsible of the individual who commit the crimes. In neoclassical criminology, this thought leads to the determination to any rational adults who commit a crime should be held responsible for their actions. The idea of rational decision making leads to the theory of deterrence. In criminology, deterrence is the use of punishment and consequence to prevent as much crime as possible. In the neoclassical school, philosophers called for strict punishment, harsh consequences, and clear rules to deter as much crime as possible. This is due to rational thoughts that if the consequence of a crime outweighs its potential benefits, the majority of the rational adults will not commit that crime. Aggression and violence are not the same. While a person who commits an act of violence may be acting with aggression, a person with an aggression nature will not necessarily engage in violent acts. Although aggression can result in a physical or verbal attack, sometimes the attack may be defensive or impulsive and lack harmful intent. Often considered a physical expression of aggression, violence may be predatory, impulsive, reactive, and defensive in nature. Violence can develop from situational or environmental factors and may result from a mental condition from personal or cultural beliefs. Most Most criminals use aggression with force to harm, to injure an individual. Most criminals who use aggression and violence are males. Men are far more likely to express their aggression directly through physical violence or verbal abuse. Women are more likely to be indirectly aggressive, to focus on damaging someone's social standing or spreading rumors to hurt someone's reputation. This point to very clear reason why men are overrepresented in violent crime statistics. Males aggression is most always in a form that is criminalized. And that's for my video for today. I hope you learned something and understand from my video blog. Bye.